Hey, what's up you guys, it's Dorothy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to go into Chapter 8, Part 2 of One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. I know that it's something that you guys have been waiting for, and I'm trying to get as much content done as possible because, like I said, my goal for videos this year is I have to have 500 videos uploaded by the end of the year. So I'm trying to make that happen, and since we have to do 2 parts to every chapter of this book, it is going well so far. So let's get right into this video. This video may contain sensitive topics and foul language. If you do not wish to continue, please click off of the video now. You have been warned. Nate, Sunday, September 30th, 5:15 p.m. Calling my ride home with Officer Lopez after Simon's funeral tense would be an understatement. It was hours later, for one thing, after Officer Buzzcut had brought me into the station and asked me a half-dozen different ways whether I'd killed Simon. Officer Lopez had asked if she could be present during questioning, and he agreed, which was fine with me, although things got a little awkward when he pulled up Simon's drug-dealing accusation, which, although true, he can't prove. Even I know that. I stayed calm when he told me the circumstances surrounding Simon's death gave the police probable cause to search my house for drugs, and that they had already had a warrant. I cleared everything out this morning, so I knew they wouldn't find anything. Thank God Officer Lopez and I meet on Sundays. I'd probably be in jail otherwise. I owe her a big time for that, although she doesn't know it, and for having my back during questioning, which I didn't expect. I've lied to her face every time we've met, and I'm pretty sure she knows that, but when Officer Buzzcut started getting heated, she dialed him back. I got the sense eventually that all they have is some flimsy circumstantial evidence and a theory they were hoping to pressure someone into admitting. I answered a few other questions, the ones I knew couldn't get me into trouble. Everything else was some variation of I don't know and I don't remember. Sometimes it was even true. Officer Lopez didn't say a word from the time we left the police station until she pulled into my driveway. Now she gives me a look that makes it clear even she can't find a bright side to what just happened. Nate, I won't ask if what I saw on that side is true. That's a conversation for you and a lawyer, if it ever comes to that, but you need to understand something. If from this day forward you deal drugs in any way, shape, or form, I can't help you. Nobody can. This is no joke. You're dealing with a potential capital offense. There are 4 kids involved in this investigation, and every single one of them except you is backed by your parents, who are materially comfortable and present in their children's lives. If you're not outright wealthy and influential, you're the oblivious outlier and scapegoat. Am I making myself clear? Jesus, she's not pulling any punches. Yeah, I got it. I've been thinking about that on the way home. All right, I'll see you next Sunday. Call me if you need me before then. I climb out of the car without thanking her. It's a bullshit move, but I don't have it in me to be grateful. I step inside our low-ceilinged kitchen, and the smell hits me right away. Stale vomit seeps into my nose and throat, making me gag. I look around for the source, and I guess today's my lucky day because my father managed to make it to the sink. He just didn't bother rinsing it afterwards. I put one hand over my face and use the other to aim a spray of water, but it's no good. The stuff's caked on by now and won't come off unless I scrub it. We have a sponge somewhere, probably in the cabinet under the sink. Instead of looking, though, I kick it, which is pretty satisfying, so I do it another 5 or 10 times, harder and harder, until the cheap wood splinters and cracks. I'm panting, breathing in lungs full of puke-infested air, and I'm so fucking sick of it all. I could kill somebody. Some people are too toxic to live. They just are. A familiar scratching sound comes from the living room. Stan clawing at the glass of his terrarium looking for food. I squirt half a bottle of dish detergent in the sink and aim another blast of water over it. I'll deal with the rest later. I get a container of live crickets from the refrigerator and drop them into Stan's cage, watching them hop around with no clue what's in store for them. My breathing slows and my head clears, but that's not exactly good news. If I'm not thinking about one shitstorm, I have to think about another. Group murder. It's an interesting theory. I guess I should be grateful the cops didn't try to pin the whole thing on me. Ask the other 3 to nod and get out of jail free. I'm sure Cooper and the blonde girl would have been more than happy to play along. Maybe Bronwyn wouldn't, though. I close my eyes and brace my hands on the top of Stan's terrarium, thinking about Bronwyn's house, how clean and bright it was, and how she and her sister talked to each other. Like all the interesting parts of their conversations were the things they didn't say. It must be nice after getting accused of murder to come home to a place like that. When I leave the house and get on my bike, I tell myself I don't know where I'm going and drive aimlessly for almost an hour. By the time I end up in Bronwyn's driveway, it's dinner time for normal people, and I don't expect anyone to come outside. I'm wrong, though. Someone does. It's a tall man in a fleece vest and a checked shirt with short dark hair and glasses. He looks like a guy who's used to giving orders, and he approaches me with a calm, measured tread. Nate, right? His hands on his hips, a big watch glinting on his wrist. I'm Javier Rojas, Bronwyn's father. I'm afraid you can't be here. He doesn't sound mad, just matter of fact, but he also sounds like he's never meant anything more in his life. I take my helmet off so I can meet his eyes. Is Bronwyn home? It's the most pointless question ever. Obviously she is, and obviously he's not going to let me see her. I don't know why I want to, except that I can't, because I want to ask her. What's true? What did you do? What didn't you do? You can't be here, Javier Rojas says again. I'm sure you don't want police involvement any more than I do. He's doing a decent job of pretending I wouldn't be his worst nightmare even if I weren't involved in a murder investigation with his daughter. That's it, I guess. Lines are drawn. I'm the obvious outlier and scapegoat. There isn't much else to say, so I reverse out of his driveway and head home. That is the end of chapter 8. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!